Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Stories Written by a Current Prisoner. Before we jump into today's story, man, unfortunately, man, I got some unsettling news and a message from Mr. Ray Local himself.
All right, everybody. It's me again, Ray, coming at you live. And just wanted to say, man, that I've been gone for a while, but I've been going through some things with my family, and it's unfortunate that my mom just passed away. She had a hard battle, and she fought. She's dead now. She passed a little while ago, and I asked Tony if he'd allow me to get on here and maybe ask for some help from all of you guys out there and gals that hear me or talk to me or listen to my thing. And maybe you can help out with some of the expenses. I think we're going to have to cremate her because we don't got no money. But I got to find a burial for her, and any little help will do from anybody. Any ideas will help. But that's where I stand now, and maybe, I feel a little bit better. I'll start talking to y'all again, and I'll have some things to say then, and just want to say thank you again for your support through the years right here, and thank you again for everything. Anything will do. Thank you. God bless. All right, bro. All right.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, our good friend Ray Local, man, he's going through a very rough time, man, and we would sincerely appreciate any type of help, towards his way. Thank you for stopping by, ladies and gentlemen.
There's probably a lot of people waiting for this right here. There's a lot of people waiting for this right here, my man. Live shows. I got so many ideas on these live shows, Tony. It's not even funny. Let's go.
It just does not stop, ladies and gentlemen. Happy holidays once again, man. We have one hell of a guest, man. You guys already know who he is, man. He doesn't need no introduction. Big powwow, big powder, man. How you doing, Jason?
Well, there's been a lot of interesting things that have been going on in my life. Like, who knows? Maybe I'll make some videos about that. But there's been a lot of crazy stuff going on in my life. A lot of exciting stuff in my life. We did that little video about the supposed fallout with us, but I told it how it was. Here I am. How you doing, Tony? It's been a long time, bro. It's been a long time, bro.
Hey, man, it's been a little while, man. Thank God, man, for everything, man. That I'm everything is good with me, bro, man. My family's healthy, man. I'm happy for the holidays, bro. Cowboys have been kicking butt, man. So I'm a happy individual, Big Jason, bro, as you can imagine, man.
That's good, because here's the thing, I want to, on these YouTube sites and social media in general, there's a lot of criticism, there's a lot of backlash for anything that you do, and that's something that I've learned as I started doing this. I'm not trying to be some YouTube star. I'm not trying to do any of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to tell it how it is and tell my story and maybe make a positive impact in this life. So, we all make mistakes. I have, you have, and it's what we do from here that matters. You agree or what?
Oh, man, absolutely. Absolutely, Big Powder, man. It's all about pushing forward, man. It's all about spreading about the positivity, man. Man, forget about the past, man. The past ain't going to get you anywhere, man. It's all about what you can do today and what you can do tomorrow, man.
I generally agree with that. So, I'm saying let's see if we can give them something that they have been missing, and just rock it. If you're ready, I'm ready.
Hey, for sure, Big Jason, bro, man. I'm going to go ahead and, man, the floor is all yours, Big Jason, man. Go ahead and do what you do best,
This
man.
call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Do what you do best, bro, and shine bright, man. Go ahead and do your thing, Big Jason.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Like, okay, so, everybody's probably been wondering what's been going on with me. What is the big gap of not running any type of videos on isolated minds or stories written by current prisoners. In fact, even doing things on my channel. Well, here's the thing, I've had a lot of other stuff that I've been needing to focus on, and I've been experiencing some things that I've never, ever in my life experienced before on this SNY side. I'm not going to go into all that right now, but definitely I'll go into it a little bit later. We'll run a segment on, the latest kind of sequence of events that have happened in my life that are pretty cool. They're pretty cool. It seems like there should be some new pictures of me on the cover of this video, and I'm going to go ahead and take it back a little while ago, back in about 2009 when things were really starting to get hairy for me, and there was a separatism between Woods and Skins. And not too long ago, a few months ago, I actually got a request from a lady who was asking me what's the difference between a Wood and a skinhead. Well, there's a lot of difference between a Wood and a skinhead. First of all, skinheads, they're motivated by National Socialism. They're motivated, and there's a difference between skinheads and Nazis, white supremacists, separatists, National Socialists, these type of things. But skinheads in general, okay, when you come into prison, skinheads are front line. They're front line. They're not allowed to turn down any type of work, and they are from gangs or whatever is considered hate groups. So you have different hate groups. Woods are the equivalent to like residents to the sureños. So basically, but there are some Woods that are top notch, and they have been doing this for a very long time. And don't get it twisted, there are Woods that are just as crazy, have just as much juice, respect, power, and control as a skinhead does. Because at this time, it was a big no-no for Woods and skinheads to be separating like that. We were told from the big homies that we have to be united as one because it causes a lot of dissension. So around this time, it was pretty crazy because there was a lot of power struggles going on among a lot of individuals that were from different crews, that were just regular Woods, that were in touch with Aryan Brotherhood members and stuff like that. And what's crazy is speaking of the Aryan Brotherhood, that federal indictment that I spoke about and told stories about, there's been some new turn of events on that one too, and some big names have cooperated. Some big names have indeed and in fact turned and flipped and cooperated. But check this out. So this was back when things were really cracking. This is back when my rise to power was in effect, full effect, and I was in Ironwood State Prison, and I was right there on B Yard. And right there on B Yard, I was in 2 Block. In 2 Block, there was a lot of skinheads and there was a lot of Woods. It was about an equal amount of numbers right there in 2 Block. At this time, there was an individual from Modesto named Jason LaMarche who was in fact controlling that yard. He had been in that prison for a very long time, and he had made his way from every single yard, every single active yard, and now he's over on B Yard, and he's been on every single yard due to the fact he has got into some problems from, politicking, running yards. So his name is well established in that prison. When I arrived, his name was been around because he had been in that prison for a while. Now, I've been on level 4, so dropping down to a level 3 was very weird to me. Like, they were looking at me like I was some big dog, but in fact, I was a big dog at that time because nobody was on my level, not even close. So when I hit B Yard, I'm hanging out there and I'm introducing and getting familiar with these people that are around me. Now, Chad from RSSH, Big Thumper from RSSH was right there. Tension from Antelope Valley Skins, Half Pint from Antelope Valley Skins, Bouncer from War Skin was there, and there was also some heavy-hitting Woods that were there too. And in fact, that was Jason LaMarche, Billy Olinger. Billy Olinger, man, I'm going to end up telling a story about him, a little spin-off to this story. Billy Olinger, the very first time that I met him was in the county jail, and we had some differences, and he found out that I was superior. I'll always be superior because, I was way more involved in the game than he was, and I started earlier, and I was bigger, stronger, and I had a heart of a lion at this time. So they were all in the same block. Now, Tension and Chad, they were in 3 Block. They were in the next block over with Bouncer. And then Big Thumper was in 1 block, and he was over there running that block. So in my block in particular was predominantly Woods, and it was Jason LaMarche, Billy Red K, Daryl Slayton. It was just a lot of individuals that were right there. And all these woods that were in the block with me had been doing time for a very long time. They were considered regs, regular woods, regular white boys. Dudes that have been established, have made their rounds, and have say-so in the wood pile. So I remember this specifically. One day, we're out at yard, and all of a sudden, I'm seeing some commotion. I'm seeing some commotion among Chad, Tension, Big Thumper, Jason LaMarche, and Billy Olinger. So I walk over there. And when I walk over there, I'm like, what's going on, bro? Like, what are you guys doing over here? I was still a youngster, so I was kind of new to certain things. But I seen that they were all reading something on a piece of paper, which just happened to be a kite. And I'm like, what's up, bro? Who's that from? And they're like, oh, bro, this kite right here just came out of the hole. And I said, oh, is that right? Well, who's back there? Who's sending kites out of the back to these main lines like they run stuff? And they said, well, Dozer from Coors Skinheads. Coors stands for Comrades of Our Racial's Comrade of Our Race's Struggle. That stands for Coors. Now, at this time, Coors was recruiting a lot of people, like dudes that were going back to court, regular woods. You know, there's a certain process for individuals that are regular whites, and the transition to become a skinhead, there's a certain process, or you will be reprimanded from it. You'll never be accepted. There's a lot of things that you'll go through. Well, this dude Dozer now is in fact claiming Coors Skinheads because he went to the county jail and came back, and now he's Dozer from Coors Skinheads. And he's a big youngster, and he's in the hole, and he's pumping out kites to the yards. And this kite in particular was, the content of it was this. It was saying that there's an individual named Billy Redkay and Jason LaMarche out on that yard, and they had been stealing from the canteen from their own people and bullying Christians specifically, and they need to get got. They need both of them. They need to get removed immediately. There's no room for jailhouse thieves. I said, wow. I said, is this true? I look at the kite. I said, is this true? Everybody's looking around, and they say, yeah, it is true. Now, the skins go one direction. The woods go another direction to go ahead and, discuss this kite that everybody had just read. So I went to the skinheads first because I was a skinhead. So I went over there to Tension and Chad and Thumper, and I'm asking them what their consensus is. What is their perception and what is their opinion of this kite that they just received? And they're automatically off the top saying, we need to remove it.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
We need to remove him because it's true. We need to remove Jason LaMarche, and we need the skinheads to take over the yard. I said, that's what you guys want to do? They said, yes. They said, Powder, what's up, bro? Are you down? My little boy Tension looked at me, and he said, what's up, bro? How about me and you go? How about me and you go? I looked at him. I said, hold that thought, brother. Let me go see what's going on over with the woods. So I went over to where the woods are, to where Jason LaMarche, Billy Redkay, and all of them were over there discussing it. And this is what actually happened and the status of what was going on with that.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
I'm calling you back, bro. So the status of it is that they both were admitting that this actually happened. This took place. They 100% stole from them. So what they were doing was they were canteen workers, and they would take money to buy drugs or whatever they were trying to do. They were doing that, and basically they would try to use the money for drugs, and then they would try to replace it or not. It didn't matter. So they ended up getting caught. Now, Billy Redkay was the main individual for doing that. So when he went in there, when he got caught doing this, he ended up getting stabbed for it. He got stabbed for it. And once he got stabbed for it, then he was afforded a cleanup. So he did his little cleanup. Once he did his little cleanup, all right, sorry, there was people at my door. Once he did his cleanup, he stabbed somebody. So in my opinion, at this time, when this was going down, okay, he got caught doing this, but he had already been stabbed, and he had already stabbed somebody to clean it up. So I presented that, and I said, bro, what's up? Like, didn't he already clean this up? And they were not listening to anything that anybody had to say. They just wanted to utilize him as a way to get to the back and take over control of his yards. And to me, I didn't agree with it. So this is what I felt. So I went and got at my homeboy, Billy Olinger. He was from IE. He's from Riverside. He actually started, to make a pretty good name for himself. So before anybody else could touch him, I went and asked Billy. I said, what's up, bro? I said, you want to roll with me and take Billy Redcay to the back, and we'll get ourselves back there, and then I'll deal with Dozer, and I'll sit him down, bro. Are you down to go with me? And he said, yeah, bro. I said, look, we don't want anybody touching him, bro. So we'll take care of this. So we shook hands. We agreed on that. So the very next night, we're going to do it, and I'm going to kick it off. So it's night yard, and we go approach Billy Redcay. So Billy Olinger was the one that was going with me. Billy Redcay was the one who was getting beat up. That's who we're going to beat up. We're going to victimize him. We're going to take him to the back, and I'm going to go back there. I'm going to sit this dude Dozer down and let him know how things are really happening, how he can, sit on his hands and let somebody else run the job, because he's too much of a kid. He does not know what he's doing. He thinks everything is a popularity contest. So everybody's in full agreement. We're going to do it the very next night at Night Yard. Boom, I sneak out there. We head out there. I gave Billy Redcay the heads up, and we're out there at the tables, at the white tables, and I told Billy Olinger I'm going to kick it off. So to make a long story short, he's at the table. We walk up, I pop him in his face, and we just start getting it. He's down on the ground instantly, and I'm just pummeling this dude. And Billy Olinger, I'm rapid fire hitting this dude so many times, so fast that Billy Olinger, he couldn't even get a punch in. So they spray us, they get us, the alarm goes down, they cuff us up, and they take us to the program office. And what happens is they suspended our shoe, and all they did was take Billy Redcay to the hole and kicked us back out to the yard. And I'm like, bro, that is not good, bro. That dude just went back there without us to speak up for him. It's all bad. If we don't hurry up and get back to this hole, they are going to prey on him, and he's not going to be able to make it. So this is what happened. Now Chad from RSSH is now politicking to get to the yard and remove Jason LaMarche. That's his intentions. Jason LaMarche is doing life without the possibility of parole. He's from Modesto. He's been down for 20 years at this time, and he does not deserve this at all. So I'm seeing the praying going on. So I don't like that type of stuff. And basically what Chad is trying to do is he's trying to just get the yard, and that's his only intentions at all. But I'm not okay with that. Even though I'm a skinhead, I'm for what is right, period. And I'm actually directly in contact with the brothers and my older homeboys who are living with the brothers in Corcoran Shoe while nobody else was. And I knew how very important it was for us not to separate and play that type of stuff between woods and skinheads, because you can get in trouble just for separating like that. Just for doing that alone, there's going to be consequences. So, I go talk to Chad, and I go talk to Tension. And I'm like, what's up, Tension? What's the deal? And he's like, Powder, I want to know if you'll go with me. You go with me, we'll smash Jason LaMarche out, and Chad will have the yard. I said, Chad, is that the plan, bro? Look over at him. He looks back over at me, and he's like, yeah, man. And I've seen it in his eyes how hungry he was to have some sort of power. Like, bro, he just wanted it. And the fact that he wanted it so bad, bro, I was just like, nah, he's not going to have it. So I played them, and I said, all right, man, we're going to take care of it tonight. Be out here tonight, and we're going to handle it. Well, at this time, me and Billy Olinger, we worked in the kitchen, and therefore we were table white. So we were table white. As we're table white, that means that we have access to every single block that comes into the kitchen to eat in the dining hall. So what we did was, as they were feeding...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
We're letting all the homeboys know to make sure that they're out there at Night Yard tonight, because it's going down. Everybody be out there on standby, period. It's mandatory yard, and everybody needs to be out there and only watch to see if we jump, and that means me and Billy. Now, Jason LaMarche works in the kitchen with us, too, and he's kind of freaking out. He's like, man, bro, I don't know how this is going to go, man. And I'm like, bro, just kick it, bro. You know what I mean? We got you. If I say I got you, bro, We got you. But the only way this is going to work, Jason, is if you kick it off. I don't want to see any of this little back and forth stuff with Chad. So once we're out there and we approach each other, you better kick it off, bro, or I'm going to be very, very upset. So it's the end of our shift. It's the end of our shift, and we're waiting in line, and we're getting stripped out. Night yard is being called right now, so they're all coming out. They're coming out as we're being stripped out and being released from the kitchen work. As we're being released from the kitchen work, we're looking out the windows, and we can see all of our homeboys just showing up from outside of the blocks. There's at least 30 to 40 of my homeboys just posted in little spots, spread it out around the yard, around the whites table too, just kind of out there in the distance, lurking just as we asked. And then we look at Chad, Tension, and Big Bouncer coming out of their block, and they're walking up to the table with the anticipation that they are going to be removing Jason LaMarche, that me and Tension are going to do it. That's what they think 100%. But we have a whole other plan, dude. We have a whole other plan. So we're about to go right outside of the kitchen door. They let us out one by one. Now we're all outside of the kitchen. We're now onto the yard, and there's Tension, Chad, and Bouncer, and they're posted, and they're looking straight at us, and everybody's looking at us. And I'm like, Jason LaMarche looks at me. I said, listen, brother, let's go. Pop this dude with a state cup in his face, bro, and we are going to get this thing going, bro, okay? They're already separating. We got to get to the back. We got to save Billy Redkay, and we got to sit Dozer down. He has no business controlling anything here. So we go, and as we start to approach, I can just kind of feel it. See, I used to love the fight, so it didn't matter to me, but I can feel the tension coming off both factions, both sides, and we pull up to him. And Jason LaMarche, and it was so weak how he told him, I'll never forget it. And he's like, "What's up, man? You trying to take the yard from me?" And Chad, and that was the one thing I told him not to do, dude, is to not go back and forth. And Chad, he replies and he tells him, he says, "Well, no, bro." And Jason LaMarche goes, "Yeah, he is. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. I heard you're trying to take the yard." And I said, "Man, enough of this." And I just intervened with my state cup, and I hit Chad right on the top of the forehead. Boom. And I kicked it off. And when I hit him on top of the forehead, with the state cup. Everybody kicked it. Everybody was fighting. Everybody was. Yeah, and everybody was just, all my homeboys that I had on standby, they all got in and they all started running and jumping in and they were getting involved in it. And there had to have been at least 30 white boys on like 4 of them, and they were all trying to run. Bouncer was trying to run. Tension was trying to run. Chad was trying to run, but we grabbed Bouncer and we got him down, bro. And we got Bouncer down, and he could not do anything. And I was just punching him. And I was wearing boots that night because I was working in the kitchen. And I was just booting this dude. I remember booting this dude in the face, clean shot so many times. And I guess the yard had already said, get down a few times, and I didn't realize it. And by the time that I did realize it, I look around, and everybody's down on the ground in a prone position but me. And I'm like, no, I'm the only one standing right here. Well, the only thing left to do is just keep on going. So I just kept kicking him in his face until they shot the block gun one more time, and then I got down. Once I got down, I looked over to my right, and I seen that dude Chad just look.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I seen that dude Chad. I looked over at his face, and there was just something that told me, like, nah, bro, I got to get you too. So I hopped back up. I was the only one that did this. I hopped back up, and I run over at him full speed, and I just start punching him and kicking him in the face one last few times so that everybody knew what time it was. I wanted to make a statement. I wanted to be the last man standing, and that's exactly what I did. After that, I got down. They zip-tied everybody. They did a skirmish line, and they took pictures of everybody, and then they sorted it out. They took us all to the hole. Once we got to the hole, I whipped up a kite real quick, and I circulated it. I circulated among all the whites that were back there in the hole. I made sure that Dozer got it because it was addressed straight to Dozer, and it was telling him to sit down. It was telling him that there would be no more separation between Woods and skinheads, or else we're all going to be in trouble. and this prison will get green lighted. So from this point on, I'm going to start running this, and it's going to be ran appropriately. Everybody's going to get along, and we're going to be strong and united. Around this time, like I said, 2009, 2010, there was a lot of power struggles going on around the state of California amongst, Woods, Skins, just people who thought that they had more blessings than the next man. But this was the story of one of my power struggles at an early age, and you know how it is. Young Pow Pow came on top, as always. I hope you guys like this story, and I hope you understand how it can be and how violent it can be in prison, and hopefully you make good decisions to not come here, because it's not cool and it's not fun.